What is up, guys? It is the ProdigyCraft here, back with episode 12, round 12 of Formula 1 2023 career mode. Today we are going to be racing around the circuit of the Americas, the Texas Grand Prix. Without further ado, let's skip right to practice. One thing that I forgot to mention when starting this weekend is it is a sprint weekend. So we're going to have practice 1, and then we're going to go into qualifying, and then we're going to do the sprint and the race. It's not one of my strongest tracks, so we're going to see how we get on throughout practice. We've only got one session before we do qualifying, so let's get straight into it.
They told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory, right? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a setup on the car that I'm going to run throughout this weekend to hopefully make it a bit more of a better experience, because I do struggle around this circuit quite a lot. So we're going to put a custom setup on. Last time I did this out in Qatar, it worked really well for me. So I'm hoping that the setup's going to work the same here, but sometimes I put a setup on the car that doesn't always work out for me, as I did in Monza. That was a pretty terrible setup I put on the car there. I'm hoping for not a repeat of that. I'm hoping for a repeat of the Qatar setup. That would be absolutely fantastic. I'm happy with the tyre pressures. So let's get straight out there and see what we can do on a race strategy program.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. You got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
So the car feels interesting. I do feel like I'm struggling quite a bit for rear end grip, and I also don't feel very fast through the first sector here. But I have always struggled with this sequence of corners. I know a lot of people love it. I'm coming out of here, the back end's losing the back end a little bit. So you see, it's interesting. The tyres are not that worn, so it's going to be interesting to see how that transitions over in the race.
Okay, this is a quali sim. We've estimated the times our closest rivals will be doing, so that's what we need to beat. Program complete, and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
That didn't feel too bad, but I'm just wondering how quick that actually is in comparison to the rest of the grid when it comes to Saturday or Friday qualifying. Well, is it Saturday still qualifying? Yeah, Saturday qualifying in the sprint. I don't know.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top 3. Jackson, Russell and Fernando Alonso. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula 1 action.
Right, here we are then in qualifying. Let's get straight out, set a lap in Q1. We've put a new engine in, because we were running the older engine there in practice. But luckily we were able to get it changed before qualifying, so we'll go out now under Parc Fermé regulations, and we shouldn't get a penalty. And let's see where we're actually at in regards to the rest of the field at the end of first qualifying. 134 to 2 tenths behind George Russell. So at the end of qualifying 1, it is George Russell P1, myself P2, and Max Verstappen P3. Setting the pace, George Russell at the front there with a 134.002. I do believe there was more time in my lap. So let's see where we can get for the end of Q2. 1:33.3. That is not too shabby. So at the end of Q2, it is myself P1, George Russell P2, and Max Verstappen P3. Over a second to P2 there. It all got put together on that lap. If I can get a lap like that out of qualifying 3, I will be very happy indeed. Join us in Q3.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Russell, Verstappen and Lando Norris. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Jackson, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Magnussen, Stroll, Joe, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Albon, Ricciardo and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
So, not a great end to qualifying 3 there. Let's see what we can get done in the sprint race here today.
Well done, mate. Well done. That's a great finish. You've really stepped up and achieved what we asked you to do today, so good job.
Yes, I'm happy with that. That was not a bad sprint race whatsoever. Obviously, maximum points come from the Grand Prix tomorrow, so I'm very happy with that.
Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. Well, that lead at the top has somewhat shrunk today. Well, that wraps up the sprint. All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Well, you don't need me to remind you that Formula One is now so beloved in the United States that we race here 3 times a year. But let's give respect to COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, to give it its full name. This place laid the foundations for this moment and still remains the host of the US Grand Prix. We're racing then today in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of this wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles per hour here today, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Jackson lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Sainz, Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen, Bottas, Joe, Albon, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Sargent, Ricciardo, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And joining me again for the race today, Natalie Pinkham. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always the risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
Okay.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Okay, we're starting on the hard tyre. Everyone around us is starting on the medium. It's 5 lights and away we go here. Oh, not a great start. Not a great start indeed. We have lost some positions here off the start. No doubt due to starting on the harder compound tyre where everyone around me was starting on the medium. So Russell and Norris has got the jump on us round lap 1 here. So not the best start to the Grand Prix. We had a great sprint, but starting on the hard tyre and going to the medium might not be the best choice for us in this race. As you can see, going wide there out of turn 9 as we head down to turn 11 here. It is a long race ahead and there is a lot of drama ahead in this race. So here we are heading down the long straight here into turn 12. We've got great speed on Norris. Oh, we nearly go into the back of him as we just get the car slowed down as we're heading round turns 13, 14 into 15. Not great traction here for me going into from turns 14 into 15. It's a part of the racetrack that my car struggles at as we're heading round turn 16, 17 and 18 here. At the end of lap 1 we are net P3 on the road on the hard compound tyre, but it looks like we are gaining on Lando Norris here. So let's see what happens. What can we make inroads as we go into this race? George Russell setting the fastest lap here as we've got a great run on Norris here. Coming up into turn 1 and we go right down the inside and we get the move done on him here. Now this first sector is notoriously tricky for me as we skip to lap 6. We're coming around turn 10 now, heading to 11, and we've got the gap down to under a second on George Russell, so we're going to have DRS coming down the back straight here. Sorry, my commentary's not very good. I was never made to be a race commentator. I just like getting into the racing, but I don't like leaving it here with no commentary on it. So we've got DRS on George Russell. Are we going to get the run on him going down into turn 12? It doesn't look like it. We're just going to bide our time here. We're on the hard compound tyre. He's on the medium. At this point, I'm not sure whether he's going medium to hard. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's going to be going on to the hard tyre. My pit stop is lap 7. We're just cruising behind him here as we're coming around turn 16, 17. We've got such better exit speed. And we're just staying with him all the way around that curved turns 17 and 18. Right onto the back of him here as we're coming on to lap 7. We're going to have DRS coming up the straight into turn 1. And we're going to be able to make anything happen here. George got great straight line speed, as have I. The DRS doesn't look like we're able to get it done there. No, we aren't, but we're going to tuck right in behind him. Around this first sector. Had a bit of a twitch there coming out of turn 1. Loss of traction maybe on the hard tyre. This is my in lap, so I want to stay with George as much as I can. This is my pit lap, so if I can stay with him and potentially get a good out lap when I've pitted, that is going to be crucial to the getting the lead of this Grand Prix from George. So here we are heading around turn 10 into turn 11. We get great speed on him, and we do brake a little bit later, and we're going to have DRS now heading down to turn 12. We'll get the DRS open now, heading down 210 miles an hour at the end of this straight. 211, 213, 214, 215, but we think better of it. Are we going to hang it around the outside? No. George just keeps it in there as we're heading into turn 15. Let's see if we can cut him off here up into, turn 13. Can we get him into turn 15? No, we're just going to stay behind as we are heading round now. Again, famous turn 16, 17.
Here's some information on Russell for you. They seem to have an issue.
They seem to have an issue. That's not what he wants, as we're going to see me peel off here into the pit lane and get them medium tyres on till the end of the race. It looks like, is that Norris or Piastri that's coming behind us there? It's Norris, so he's not going to hold us up here, hopefully. No, nice stop by our pit crew there, not held up in the pit lane. So now the out lap is going to be crucial to getting the lead of this Grand Prix. The fight is between me and George. If I can get this race won, or if I can finish it ahead of Verstappen, we will be leading the championship by the end of this race. We just get out ahead of the Alfa Romeo there of Guan Yu Zhou. And here we are on lap 9. We've smashed him. We've absolutely smashed the out lap there, and we are way ahead of Norris and Russell. But one thing I didn't account for was how the medium tyre was going to react as it was coming into the temperature window. Through this first sector, I was a little bit slower than Norris and Russell. So here we are heading round turn 7, 8 and turn 9 there. And here we are into turn 10, heading down to turn 11. They have gained a little bit of time on me, but it looks like we're going to keep the lead. Norris looks very quick. Oh, we've gone late on the brakes, and we have missed the corner going into turn 11. And Lando Norris is alongside, and he is ahead going into turn 12. He is ahead of us here. Are we going to be able to do anything? We look to the outside. We slot back in. We go down the outside now. Right round there, Norris is parked on the chicane there. Looked like he had absolutely no exit speed outside of turn 12. And again, here we are. We're heading through now to turn 15. And just easing our way around there. I'm looking to see how worn the tyres are. I'm looking to see the temperatures on the tyres, because they're just not coming into the operating window. I have absolutely no grip, and you can see Norris is absolutely all over me here from turn 19, and it looks like going into turn 20 he's got the move done down the inside there. He has got the move done on me. He is on the soft compound tyre, as is George behind, and it looks like he's got them tyres into a great window there. And oh, we nearly go into the back of him there. It looks like we get the car slowed down in time though. He's got them tyres into a much better window than I have, but the tyres are coming to me here now. We've got them into a good operating window. They're starting to come to me as we're heading right with him round turns 7, and we go round. Oh my god, I've never seen an overtake done there before. That was very, very brave as we're heading around turn 9 and 10 here, but Norris is going to try on my outside, and this collision. There is a collision between myself and Norris.
Okay, safety
Car deployed. His front wing car's gone. What was he thinking? There, I did not know he would be going around the outside there, and we have damage to my rear wing, which at this point I didn't know how bad the damage was going to be, but it certainly... Oh, we nearly go into the back of him again! He slowed right down there, going into turn 12. That is tremendously stupid. Who's at fault there? I've not cut across him. As we're coming down into turn 11, I hold my line, but he can't hold it round the outside there. Vehicle information.
You've got damage to the rear wing. Expect some slight impact on performance. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now.
Damage to the rear wing. But as we are trying to catch a safe, look at me looking at it here. I'm looking at it thinking, how bad is this damage? I've never had damage to my rear wing before, as Norris peels off into the pit lane there, obviously to replace that front wing, and we are about to catch the safety car. As we skip to lap 12 here, you can see what I'm not doing, and what is crucial is I'm warming my tyres at this part, but as we come in, as the safety car comes in, I don't heat the tyres, and on the restart I get a good restart, but as you will see, not heating the tyres on this safety car restart affects me quite badly, especially with the damage I have on the rear wing. It doesn't look bad, there is no visual damage, but there is definitely damage to my rear wing, as I have absolutely no rear downforce on this safety car restart, and it is bad news for me. I can already feel it coming around here, but we're at a very low speed. The safety car's coming around. I'm deciding where am I going to go. I want to catch George unawares. Heading around turn 19 now, up to turn 20, still not gone. I'm going to head out of turn 20. And the hammer is down. We get a great restart there. There's a good gap on George as we barrel up towards turn 1. And we've got a great, healthy lead on George Russell here. But one thing that I do have is no rear downforce whatsoever coming through this first sector. And George is looking up my inside here into turn 3 and 4, and he's got ahead of us. And the car, you can see it squirming all over the racetrack there. Piastri making a move, Max Verstappen trying a move, but there is absolutely no grip, no heat in the tyres, no rear downforce. You can see that the car is just sliding all over the place there. You can see that I'm trying my best, my very best, to keep the car under control, as we are heading now down again into turn 12. We've got a good run, we've got better straight line speed than Piastri, who's on the hard tyre. We've got no traction out of turn 11, and it looks like we're able to get the pass done into 12. We were later on the brakes, not too late on the brakes, when we go back into the back of George.
Nice overtake.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And now it's going to be about chasing down George Russell. We're on lap 13 of 14, only one lap to go as we cross the line at the end of this.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
We're climbing all over the back of George here, around turn 16, 17, but I nearly lose the car again there. It's the rear downforce really affecting me out of these high speed turns. And we're coming around turn 20 here, and we're going to have a run into turn 1. We've got
Okay, mate, this is the final lap.
Final lap. We've got much better closing speed, and we're heading into turn 1 here, and we turn in and George squeezes, and there's contact again, and we've lost part of our front wing. We've gone into George's side pod. We've made the pass there. George is carrying a lot of damage. Oh no, 2 teammates colliding. Spain 2016, all over again. I've got rear downforce issues, I've got the end plate missing off the front wing, I've got front downforce issues. This is really not good. A terrible race for me all around. But we are in the lead here. No penalty applied. Racing incident. I've turned in. George's tire. He's not turned into turn 1. From that angle it doesn't look great. There is a different angle, but I wasn't able to splice it in there. George doesn't quite make the turn into turn 1 when I expected him. I've turned in and we've made contact there. And it's smashed the front wing end plate off my car. I've got no rear downforce, but the front downforce is negating the rear now. I'm absolutely struggling throughout all of these turns. Turn 13 into 14 into 15. You could just see I'm slow here, but so is George. He is carrying a lot of damage on his side pod there. And as we come around turn 16, 17, we are really struggling for downforce. Wide there, through 19, and across the line to get P1 in the Austin, Texas GP. Oh, that was not an easy race.
Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, they managed their tyres to absolute perfection. A tyre whisperer, in fact. And that is what set them apart.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Jackson takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Jackson.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
And that is the end of episode 12 of Formula 1 2023 career mode. Episode 12, what can I say other than what a hectic race there. Safety car action, terrible start, colliding with Lando, colliding with George, but at the end we have taken the lead of the Drivers' World Championship. Join me next time in episode 13 of F1 2023 career mode, where we will be racing the Mexico City Grand Prix. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Peace out.